Okay, dear student, let's just start the first live revision class. We'll be just discussing this question 255. Horngren company came in March, June 2022. Mainly this question is on limiting factor. So let's read the question. For month one, rank the products in order for the preference of making internally. Simply examiner is asking us the ranking. So calculating the ranking is very simple. What I'm going to do, simply, number one, you need to identify the limiting factor. Second, after identifying the limiting factor, just calculate contribution of each product. After the calculation of each product contribution per unit, we will simply divide the contribution with the limiting factor. We will get the contribution per limiting factor. And where we are having the highest contribution per limiting factor, that product will be manufactured first, then second, and then third. So Horngren company manufactures a range of dairy products. It produces 3 types of yogurt, which it sells in 2 kg tubes to hotels and holiday resorts. Products natural, fruity, and luxury. Maximum demand is 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000 kgs. Limiting factor is always identified by using that maximum demand. Selling price is 15, 22, 30. Direct labor is 4, 8, 12. Direct material, then we have got fixed production overheads. Okay. Direct labor is 8 per hour. Direct material is 1.5. Obviously, from the selling price, I'll deduct the variable cost, and which is direct labor and direct material. Fixed production overhead is not variable overhead, so leave that one. Okay. Then H company predicts the following availability of resources for the next 3 months. Month 1, direct labor is available. We have 36,000 hours. Direct material, we have got 75,000 kgs. Machine capacity is 140. Now let us first calculate and identify, in fact, let us first identify the limiting factor. Natural. 1 unit of natural, the direct labor cost per unit of natural is $4. And labor rate is $8 per hour, which means 4 divided by 8 gives us 0.5 hour. Logically, 1 unit of natural takes 0.5 hours of labor. Fruity, 8 divided by 8 is 1. So 1 unit of fruity takes 1 hour of labor. Luxury, 12 divided by 8, I'll get 1.5. So 1 unit of luxury takes 1.5 labor, which means that if we calculate labor hours required, direct labor hours required is equal to natural is 5,000 into 0.5, because 1 unit of natural takes 0.5 hours of labor, plus fruity is 10,000. 1 unit of fruity needs 1 hour of labor. Luxury, the maximum demand is 15,000 and 1 unit of luxury needs 1.5 hour of labor. So which means that, let me just use the calculator, 15 into 1.5 plus 10,000 into this. Students, I'm getting 35,000. To fulfill the maximum demand of natural, fruity, and luxury, we need 35,000 of direct labor hours, and we have 30 available are 36, which means direct labor is not a limiting factor. Available hours are more than required. So simply direct labor is not a limiting factor. Now let's check the next one is direct material. Logically, we have 75,000 kgs of material available. Let's see. Direct material required, of course, in kgs to fulfill the maximum demand. Again, I'm repeating, limiting factor is identified by using maximum capacity. At maximum capacity, okay. 1 unit of natural, the direct material cost is $3 per unit. and direct material rate is 1.5 per kg, which means 3 divided by 1.5 gives us 2 kg. So 1 unit of natural takes 2 kgs of direct material. Fruity 3.75 divided by 1.5, 3.75 divided by 1.5. So I'm getting 2.5. So 1 unit of fruity takes 2.5 kgs. Luxury 4.5 divided by 1.5 gives us 3 kgs. 1 unit of luxury takes 3 kgs. So come here. Maximum demand for the natural is 5,000 and 1 unit of natural takes 2 kgs of material. Fruity maximum demand is 10,000 and 1 unit of fruity takes 2.5 kgs. And luxury 15,000 and 1 unit of luxury takes 3 kgs. Now let me use the calculator. Let's see what we're getting. Students, 80,000. We need 80,000 kgs to fulfill the maximum demand, but available is less than that. So logically, direct material is the limiting factor. Direct material is limiting factor. Now let's check machine hours as well. Logically, machine hours, they will not be a limiting factor. Why? It's not a question on linear programming, but okay, there's no harm to check. The fixed production overhead is absorbed using machine hours at a rate of $1 per hour. So come here. So 1 divided by 1, it means natural takes 1 machine hours, fruity 4 divided by 1 is 4, and luxury 6 divided by 1 is 6. So 1 unit of natural takes 1 machine hour, fruity, 1 unit of fruity takes 4 machine hours, and 1 unit of luxury takes 6 machine hours. So come here. Machine hours required. 1 unit of natural needs 1 machine hour. 1 unit of fruity needs 4 machine hours, and 1 unit of luxury needs 6 machine hours, which means that, let's see, the required is 1,35,000 and available is 140. So you can see that machine hour is not your limiting factor in month 1. And right now we are in month 1. We are working for month 1. Available is 140. So the limiting factor is direct material. Now simply what do you need to do? Just calculate contribution per unit divided by the limiting factor which we need per unit. Then you will get contribution per limiting factor. The product which gives us highest contribution per limiting factor, that we will manufacture first. We have got 3 products: natural, fruity, luxury. Let's see contribution per unit. Natural. Selling price of the natural is 15. Direct labor is 4, material is 3. So 4 minus 3. 15 minus 4 minus 3. So the contribution of natural is 8. Now, contribution of natural is 8. Fruity. The selling price of fruity is 22. Direct labor is 8. Material is 3.75. So 22 minus 8 minus 3.75. I'm getting 10.25. Contribution of fruity is 10.25 per unit. 10.25 per unit. Now let's talk about luxury. The selling price of luxury is 30. The selling price of luxury is 30. Direct labor is 12 minus 12. Direct material is 4.5 minus 4.5. So luxury, I'm getting 13.5 contribution. Now simply divide this contribution with the limiting factor, which we need per kg. which we need per unit. Limiting factor is our kgs. Okay. Natural. 1 unit of natural needs 2 kgs of direct material. Fruity needs 2.5 and luxury needs 3. Contribution per limiting factor. Per limiting factor. 4. 10.25 divided by 2.5, that gives me 4.1. 13.5 divided by 3, 4.5. So we are having a highest contribution per limiting factor that we have to produce first. Ranking 1, 2, and 3. Simple. Good. So it's 1, 2, and 3. In month 2, how many units of fruity should Horngren Company, Horngren Company, buy from external supplier, assuming the company wants to maximize profit? So it is categorically asked in month 2 how many units of fruity Horn Company should buy from external supplier. Now listen. Now in month 2 the scenario is different. They're asking you how many units of fruity they should be buying externally. So now how to deal with that? It means that available resources within the organization, they are not good enough to fulfill the maximum demand of, let's say, fruity, which means that natural and luxury demand is fulfilled, but fruity demand we are unable to fulfill. That is why examiner is asking us how many units of fruity should we buy externally. First of all, logically, we have to see what is the buying price and what is our variable making cost. Normally what happens, your variable making cost will be lower than the buying price. So we will be first calculating saving per unit when we are making it internally. Then it will be divided by the limiting factor. Okay, then we'll see, logically we'll see the, I would say, then we'll see simply saving. Then we'll see how much is the saving per limiting factor. Logically, the product which give us highest saving per limiting factor, that will be manufactured first internally, then so on. Let us see what are the external prices. Look at after the point number 3, an external supplier has offered to supply units of natural, fruity, and luxury 11, 17, and 25 per unit respectively. 11, 17, and 25 per unit respectively. Okay. That is month 2. Okay. Natural, fruity, luxury. Buying price. What is supplier offering us? But that question could be directly solved as well. I don't think so there's any issue. But okay, no issue. Let's do it properly. 11, 17, and 25. In month 2, we can directly solve this second part. I'll tell you how. Look at this month 2. Direct labor is unlimited, so direct labor is not a limiting factor. Direct material is unlimited, so direct material is not a limiting factor. Machine capacity is 120. It means machine capacity is your limiting factor, so identified. Number 1. And we actually need 1,35,000. We actually need 1 lakh. We actually need 1,35,000. Just let me just proper this first. We can directly calculate here. How? Basically, natural will be manufacturing 100%. How many hours? 1 unit of natural takes 1 hour. So 5,000 hours. Luxury. The demand is 15,000. 1 unit of luxury takes 6 hours, so 90,000. It means 95,000 out of 120 will be utilized in manufacturing natural and luxury. So how many hours will be available to manufacture fruity? 1,20,000 minus 95. Logically, we will have 25,000 hours to manufacture fruity internally. 1 unit of fruity takes 4 machine hours. So simply 25,000 divided by 4. I'm getting 6250 units. Now try to understand. Internally, we can maximum manufacture 6250 units of fruity. Internally, we can maximum manufacture 6250 units of fruity internally. But the demand is 10,000. So how many units we need to buy externally? 10,000 minus 6250, I'll get 3750. So we can directly calculate this 3750. Now, in month 3, each company correctly calculates that it should be able to make 5,000 of natural, 15 of luxury, and 2,000 of fruity internally. So they have already decided in month 3, they will be in a position to make 5,000 units of natural, 15 luxury, 2 fruity. Fine. The balance of the fruity required should be bought from external suppliers. So they have already decided 8,000 we will buy externally. Fine. Why? Because the maximum demand of the fruity is 10,000. In month 3, 2,000 they will be manufacturing internally. Fine. How would this plan change if making fruity internally incurred in an incremental fixed cost of 8,000? Now, first of all, you should be able to understand the question. The question says in month 3, company has decided we will be manufacturing 5,000 natural, 15,000 luxury, 2,000 fruity internally, and 8,000 of fruity we are going to buy externally. Fine. Now, examiner is asking us if we are going to manufacture fruity 2,000 units internally, then there will be an incremental cost, incremental fixed cost. Of course, incremental fixed cost, additional fixed cost is relevant. So if we are manufacturing 2,000 units of, I would say, fruity internally, and we have to bear incremental additional fixed cost of 8,000, so how the plan will change? Should we simply be producing still 2,000 units of internally? The answer is we have to compare. When we will be manufacturing 2,000 units of fruity internally, if that gives us the saving more than 8,000, then plan will not change. But if the saving of making 2,000 fruity internally, the saving is less than 8,000, then plan will change. So we have to compare making cost of fruity with the supplier price. Let's see how much supplier is asking. Supplier is asking 70. And what is our making cost? Direct labor is 8. Direct material is 3.75. Now let me use the calculator. 8 plus 3.75. I'm getting 11.75. Now students try to understand. The supplier is asking you, give me 17 for the fruity. And internally making cost is 11.75, which means per unit of fruity, we are saving 5.25 per unit of fruity which we are manufacturing internally. The saving is 5.25 per unit. Repeat. Supplier is asking $17 per unit of fruity. Internally manufacturing cost, making cost is 11.75. So when we will be producing fruity internally, per unit the saving is 5.25. And how many units in month 3 we have decided to produce internally? 2,000. Now come here. 2,000 multiplied by 5.25. 2,000 multiplied by 5.25. I'm getting 10,500. Now listen, student. When your company manufactures 2000 units of fruity internally, then the total then saving is going to be 10,500, but you have to bear incremental additional fixed cost of 8,000. Since the additional incremental fixed cost of 8,000 is less than the saving, so the plan will not change. I will still be manufacturing 2000 units of fruity, no change in the plan. Now let's see the option. The part A, the plan would not change. Why plan is not changing? Because the saving of manufacturing 2000 units of fruity internally is more than the incremental cost. Edge company is considering outsourcing the management of its site, including security, cleaning, and general maintenance work, to a well-established facilities management company. Which two of the following statements about this plan are correct? Economies of specialization should mean that Edge company will make some cost saving. That is true. Normally, what happens when we are outsourcing XYZ work, of course, we don't outsource the core work, we outsource non-core work. Number one, when we are outsourcing non-core work, so those organizations, they are providing outsourcing services. Of course, they have got specialization in that area. And the cost which they will be charging you, it will be far more less than if you run the same department by yourself. So A makes sense. Edge company will no longer need to monitor these areas of its organization. False. Actually, outsourcing does not mean that there's no need to monitor that work. You can say that once you have outsourced something, then monitoring time will reduce, monitoring will not be that difficult. That makes sense. But saying this, there will be no monitoring, is false. There will be an increase in Edge company's management to control over these areas. No, 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 no. If I outsource, and due to outsourcing, if it increases my management control over these areas, then why would I outsource? Actually, when I outsource something, then I have got less control in that area. Management will be able to concentrate more on, yes, core activities. So that is why what do? We outsource non-core activities so that we can focus on core activities. Which of the following statement about joint product is true? Joint products are accounted for in the same way as a byproduct. False. Actually, joint products, they are your main products. Byproduct is not your main product. So significant cost is incurred on joint products. So they are not this. They're not. They're not accounted for in the same way. And I'm not running my business for the byproducts. Basically, the main is joint products. Joint products are indistinguishable from each other until the separation point. That makes sense. Basically, joint products, they will be separated at a split of point. Before that, they cannot be separated because they are joint. So students, that is all about first live revision class, and I'm expecting from next class onwards, of course, more students in PM. So the live revision classes, they will remain once in a week, okay? But duration will increase. So thank you very much for today's class. Hope to see you all and others in the next.